So today I want to talk a little bit about what can you do to be productive in the spare moments that you have in life. What can you do to literally add time to your life because you use these moments in the best way possible to move your life forward and to, complete goals, complete tasks, and find answers that could help you down the line. So today is all about how you can literally add time to your life. The first one would have to be using AI research and generative AI to find more information about the things that, just cross our mind, the things that we're slightly interested in. Because maybe we haven't carved out the time in our schedules to actually sit down and do the research about these things and compare what we find to other findings. But you could easily do this during the time that you spend on the subway, commuting, waiting in line. These are all good examples of when we could spend our time. So let's just say, for example, that you've been considering drinking more black coffee. Why have you been doing that? Because your friend mentioned that if you drink black coffee, then you could lose a lot of weight. So you just are curious about this idea and you want to know a little bit more about it. So why not just type in a few keywords into a generative AI app like ChatGPT, and you can get a lot of information in literally just a few seconds, and it will generate any kind of specific information or specifications that you have in terms of the information that you're looking for. So I would suggest using this time to do a little bit more research about the things that you want to know about, that you've heard about vaguely, maybe on the news, maybe mentioned somewhere, maybe a reference from your friend. And you can find a whole lot of information in just a few seconds or a few minutes instead of using that time to waste it. The next thing you could do is prepare for your next move. And so, what do I mean by this? Preparing for your next move literally means preparing for the thing that you're going to do next. I mean, in terms of moving your body in the direction of the place you're going to be moving next, or what you need to do next. What is the next physical task that you need to accomplish? So I'll give you an example of this. So let's just say I'm waiting for my subway train to come and I'm just scrolling through my phone aimlessly. What could I be doing in that spare moments instead of just scrolling through TikTok? So usually I like to start walking towards the direction of the train where I know that the exit will be. And then when I get to that section of the train, then I could easily get off and I would have already saved the 5 minutes it would have taken for me to walk to that side of the train station and go to that exit. This is so simple, but you could literally save those 5 minutes just by considering how you'll be moving your body next, in what direction you have to go next. So what does this really do to you when you start moving your body and having it in tune with your mind and what direction you want to move? So I think subconsciously it creates that kind of direction that you need between the mind and the body to get work done, to do what you need to do. When you start using these spare moments to move yourself in the direction that you know you will be going, you know you will be traveling to, it starts to indicate subconsciously that your body is in tune with your mind. And I know this is a very simple concept to consider, but it's so crucial for us to practice this in everyday life. Because if we don't, then we lose that connection between our body and our mind. If we also think about it this way, it becomes much easier for us to adapt to new situations, adapt to trying new things. And also, if we want to pull ourselves out of bad habits, it becomes a very powerful thing that we can do to create a connection between our body and our mind. Lastly, what this indicates to others is that your time is important. Your time is valuable. The more time you spend doing the things that you need to do to achieve your goals or to get to the next checkpoint in your life, the more others will see that about you. There's a aura or some kind of subconscious understanding about this when people interact with you on a daily basis. And when they start to see that about you, then they will start to respect you more, but also respect your time more and take the time out of their day to fit into your schedule. Another thing that you could do that sounds so simple but is so important is to familiarize yourself with your surroundings. Understand what kind of environment that you put yourself in and what kind of environment do others around you also inhabit. So what do I mean by this? I mean, I couldn't tell you how many times I've missed important details that were just right in front of me, and I just failed to look at them. I just failed to notice them. So what are some examples of this? Such as reading signs, reading people's reactions, just watching people, and considering what are some locations that look interesting that maybe I would want to visit later or want to know more about. Familiarizing yourself with your physical location is the least taxing thing you could do with your time. But also, it could be the most crucial thing that you could do with your time because it allows you to open up outside of yourself and realize what kind of environment you see on a daily basis. Let's just say you're waiting in line at your favorite deli or restaurant and you've ordered your regular thing because you always love that thing. But you've always considered getting something new, but you haven't had the chance to actually, figure out what it is that you want or what you want to try next. On your way out with your order, then you see that there was a sign for a new product that they had for a discount price that looked pretty good. And you end up kicking yourself for not taking the opportunity to try this thing for a discounted price. I mean, how many times has that happened to you? It's probably happens so many times. In fact, the whole situation could have just been avoided if you took the time to study your surroundings a little bit more. Take a look at, what kind of new signs or what new things are in our daily, where we go every day. So what is something that you could do if you really want to put this into practice? If you're ever in a new place or even a familiar place, you could take just a few seconds to take a 360-degree scan of your surroundings. Does anything look out of the ordinary? Is there anything new that pops up? Are there the same people? This is so interesting because we don't even take a look at where we are now anymore. We spend so much screen time looking at our phones that we just become desensitized to the locations that we are at any given time. The last tip I have for you to consider is using your time to do a little bit of online shopping. So what do I mean by this? I don't mean just scrolling through TikTok and finding a product and buying something that you never considered before and that just looks interesting because you just want to impulse buy. I'm talking about the things that, make our life easier and the things that we need every day. Buying these things beforehand, because of the convenience of online shopping, has never been more simple, but it also takes a little bit of time to find what we really want and for what price. So things like food, things like products that make our life easier, products that optimize your lifestyle, things that we've been doing a little bit of research about already and we've been wanting to try. These are all things that you could spend those few moments doing a little bit more research and actually committing to buying. So don't fall into this trap of looking at a buy page and hovering over the buy now button without doing anything. This is the worst. And this is the worst waste of time that you can use, because if you delay buying the product, then you delay it getting to you. And if you delay it getting to you, then you delay learning how to use it. And if you delay learning how to use it, then you delay actually using it properly and making your life easier. So even though we have to commit to a decision and we are doing it in such a short time, a few seconds, we know that this will make our life easier because the product will get to us a lot quicker. And then we can begin making changes in our lifestyle because we have access to that product and we made that decision when we had to. And we will thank ourselves later when we realize that, okay, maybe I like this product, maybe I don't like this product, but I've come to that conclusion a lot faster than I would have before. So it's not always easy to remember that we have time in these spare moments. It's not always easy for us to put our phones down or to use our phones in a productive and practical way. But the more that we put these tips into practice, or whatever actions you take, the more that life will get easier because of the productivity we can use with this time. And literally adding time to your life by not using more time that is not needed, not necessary. So now I want you to think about what is some time during your day where you could spend that doing one of these activities to make your life easier. What could you do to make your life productive in just those few moments? So I would love to know all about that if you want to leave a comment on this video. So if you like content like this, considering giving this video a like so you can find it later, or subscribing to my channel, and I would really appreciate that.